The Centennial Conservation Fund, importantly, will be a long-term mechanism to create new state parks for the state of Texas. As you know, we are growing as a state population, and we have minimal resources available to us as Texans to be outside. Almost 95% of Texas is privately owned. So it's even more important as our population continues to grow that we have the resources set aside to purchase future state parks for future generations of Texans. There are hundreds of state parks in Texas, and some large, some small, some you've heard of, some you haven't. And many of them are focal points for their community and drive tourism to those communities and are really an important piece of the community when you look at what you can do in every destination. Our state parks see over 10 million visitors every year. And some of those parks are seeing such large visitation that they have to do reservation systems to manage the flow of people. So having more parks available to more Texans would definitely help with the overcrowding in our parks. You know, our parks, the ones that people know very well, you know, the Garner State Parks and the Enchanted Rocks, those parks, because they have such a demand to visit them, and all of our parks are beautiful and should be visited, they, as I mentioned, have to do a reservation system. And, you know, when the window opens, many of the parks, their reservations fill up 5 months out. And so, you know, having more options for people to choose from would really help with feeling like you're being left out of getting to visit a state park. So Prop 14 on the ballot November 7th will importantly dedicate funding that is from the budget surplus. This is an opportunity, really a once in a lifetime opportunity to set aside in a permanent fund future state park funding. As land becomes available to purchase, our state park system and Texas Parks and Wildlife can purchase and then develop state parks with this budget surplus that we have available to us now. And the legislature, in a very overwhelmingly bipartisan way, passed this legislation, and it needs to be approved by voters. So that's why it's important to show up on November 7th. You know, as land is available, as you know, people are looking to sell property and you know, would like to see the land preserved, a state park is a wonderful way to do that. And this fund would give Texas Parks and Wildlife and the state park system the opportunity to preserve that land so more people could enjoy it across East Texas. I would say from my perspective, so as the Texas Travel Alliance, we're the leading advocate for the tourism industry in Texas, and we feel very strongly that our state park system is an integral part of tourism and driving local economies, especially in communities where the state park is the focal point, and that's what's driving tourism in those areas. This is a way for us to ensure that Texas continues to be a top destination and that our state parks are a top destination for visitors and for locals.